What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So I want to talk about two things today. I want to talk about the forced stimulus check and why we're in a situation right now where it's highly unlikely, it's even less likely than it was before, that we'll see a forced stimulus check. And I also want to talk about Social Security. I want to talk about COLA because this is the month. This is the month that we'll find out what that raise will look like in 2022. So that's what I want to talk about today. But first off, on this channel, we talk about news that matters. If that sounds like something interesting to you, please subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell notification. That way you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. And like always, if you see my name and a picture of me in the comment section, make sure you also see a check mark next to my name. That check mark signifies that it's me. If you do not see that check mark, it's not me, it's someone trying to impersonate me. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is the forced stimulus check. Now, you guys know how I feel about this. I've been saying the same thing for months now. It's highly unlikely that we will see a forced stimulus check. We do not have politicians that are pushing for a forced stimulus check at the current time. And we've had progressives in the past. 6 months ago, they were writing letters to the president saying, look, there needs to be a forced stimulus check. And look, there needs to be reoccurring payments. They were saying these things. They stopped saying them. Now we're looking at progressives and they're just focused on the $3.5 trillion bill. The hope was that that forced stimulus check would be in that $3.5 trillion bill, but now they're talking about reducing it even more. They're talking about reducing it down to more along the lines of $2 trillion. So because of that, now we're looking at a situation where, guess what? Forced stimulus check, if you're at a point where you're at 3.5 trillion and they're not talking about a forced stimulus check at that level in that second infrastructure bill, and they're talking about reducing it down, it's even less likely than it was before that we'll see a forced stimulus check because of that, because they're reducing it down even more. And so we have to look at the writing on the wall. When we're looking at the writing on the wall right now, doesn't look like there's going to be a forced stimulus check in this $3.5 trillion bill. Now, I always try to shoot straight with you guys. I try to give you the information that's available. And right now, there's no information when it comes to a forced stimulus check. And so I'm telling you guys this. I do not want you to plan ahead and think, oh, I've heard this YouTuber and they said there's going to be a forced stimulus check. It's going to be at the end of the month. I don't want you to start thinking like that because politicians, they're not focused on that. And so if you're getting your hopes up, if you're in a situation where you're really struggling and you're thinking, okay, at the end of the month, I'll have a stimulus check to help pay my bills, it's highly unlikely that you will see that. And so, like I said, always, if there's more information out there about a forced stimulus check, I will give you that information as soon as it's out there. And then another thing we need to focus on is the media. The media is not even asking politicians that question anymore. They're not asking them about a forced stimulus check because they already know the answer. So I just wanted to put that out there. I know it's not good news for a lot of people, but I want to give you guys the information that we have in front of us. And this is what we have in front of us at the current time. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about COLA. So Social Security, in October of every year, they try to figure out what COLA will be for 2022. Actually, they set the number. So the Social Security Administration will set that percentage. And for 2021, that percentage was 1.3%. Not that much. However, now we're potentially looking at 5% or 6% for 2022. So that's what everyone's focused on. So we're going to find that information out this month. Now, last year, it was announced on October 13th. So the hope is that sometime around that date this year, we'll see the COLA numbers. And this is going to be crucial for a lot of people. Now we're looking at inflation. And so there could be a situation where if it's 6%, that's going to be good for a lot of people that are on fixed income, on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, veterans. It's really going to help them out. Because if COLA is around 6%, now we're looking at beneficiaries getting about $100 on average more a month. So this could be a significant change. Now, they do need to focus on Medicare. That's another issue that needs to be addressed. But it looks like in the second infrastructure bill, that human infrastructure bill, they are going to address some of the needs when it comes to Medicare. So the cost of living increase, we should know more information around October 13th. It might not be exactly on that date, but the Social Security Administration will come out and let everyone know when it comes to what that will look like. We're hoping that it's going to be 6% because that definitely will help a lot of people. But we also need to focus on that raise for Social Security, right? They were talking about a $200 raise for Social Security. That's something else that's going to be talked about. Now, they're not going to focus on that right now because you have too many things that are going on. You have increasing the debt ceiling. That's going to be sometime in mid-October. We're still looking at that second infrastructure bill. They need to vote on that as well as vote on the first infrastructure bill. That's all going to be this month. And then we're going to have the COLA, where we have the cost of living increase that announcement this month. So they're probably going to have to wait when it comes to this raise for Social Security. Now, the hope is that they stick to their guns and they go ahead and move forward with a raise for Social Security, but that's no guarantee. And you haven't had too many politicians talk about a raise for Social Security in a very, very long time. President Biden talked about it when he was running for president, but he hasn't talked about it recently. So another thing when we're looking at, we have to look at politicians and what they're talking about. If they're not talking about something, it could be one of those situations where they want to move past that. So you need to be reminded. So hopefully after all this is settled, after all these bills are settled in the next month, then you can start focusing on Social Security. They need to reform Social Security anyway. So we might be in a situation where when they start looking at reforming it, they're going to start having to pull in money from different areas. And when they start pulling that money in, maybe there will be a raise that will help people that are receiving Social Security. So if you guys have any questions, post them down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.